guys, today is Tuesday, October 10th. Let's fix this fucking camera angle. Make this shit square. October 10th. And it has been, today is 2 weeks since I've been back on my TRT dose. My weight this morning, 198.5 pounds. So I'm back up to almost pretty much where I started. You can tell through my midsection, it's actually a lot tighter. So like my weight is kind of maintaining, going up slightly, and I'm getting leaner at the same time. Everything's starting to kind of take shape again where it was a few weeks ago. Now, we're going to go through a couple different things in a second, but we'll go ahead and give you guys a, let me fix the fucking camera angle again. There we go. Let's zoom this thing out. Does that zoom out? There we go. That's better. Good. All right. Whereas you guys can see, everything is starting to really sharpen up now. Shoulders are starting to fill out. I feel better in the gym. Everything overall is starting to kind of change back to where it was before. And yesterday when I was in the gym, I trained a little bit heavier. No more drop sets, no more extended sets, no more giant sets. I went a little bit heavier, 12 reps, etc. Now, why am I doing that? Before we get into what's going on right now, training-wise, my blood work came back from Titan. First of all, I want to say thank you to Titan because they did stuff like tested my T3 thyroid. Now, any of you that have had a thyroid test before, some of you may or may not know this. If you live in Maryland, they will not test your thyroid. And I cannot figure out why. I've asked doctors. I've had clients try to get it done. My ex-girlfriend actually checked off on the fucking box. Like, you have to go get blood work. T3 on the box because the doctor would not check it off when she asked for it. And the only thing we can figure, and we've got no answers, is that it has something to do with the cost of the test and insurance doesn't cover it. That's the only thing I can figure out why these doctors would not do it. But they would tell you if you go to Virginia, you could do it, but in Maryland, you can't do it. So I literally have never had a T3 test. Shit, I think pretty much in my whole life. It's a thyroid stimulating hormone, but not the T3. Now, my thyroid stimulating hormone came back normal. My T3 level was very low. That was kind of shocking because I'm able to maintain and get lean with actually technically having hypothyroidism because my T3, my body's not converting to T3 very well. Weird. Now, I spoke to the doctor and he said basically that could have been like that for, years and years and years from my steroid use, from the growth hormone use, and the fact that it was never tested because they never did the test, you never would know. However, it's not really affecting me, but health-wise, that should probably be addressed. I was like, okay, cool. Testosterone came back at 118. Now, average is if you're like 250, they'll say, okay, you're not that bad yet. But usually under 300, they're starting to look at TRT. 300 to 900 is normal. When you're on TRT, 1100 is not uncommon. It's almost 118. So that's like fucking like a 12-year-old girl has more testosterone than that after being off the TRT for 8 weeks. Now, that all being said, some surprises did come back, and it was my liver and kidney function. And I'll be honest with you, I never had bad blood work on steroids, right? The whole time on steroids, never had anything come back that was like, yeah, we need to address this and talk about this. Never. My liver enzymes were slightly elevated on anadrol, and it was real anadrol. My cholesterol would go into whack on Winstrol, but never had fucking bad blood work. So I couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on. Liver enzymes were elevated, creatinine level was a little bit high. Now, the creatinine level was explained off that basically I didn't drink any fucking water for like 18 hours before I went in there. I don't know why, but I thought fasting including no water. And the lady told me when I was getting the blood drawn, she's like, you didn't drink any water, did you? I said, no. She said, your blood's kind of thick. She goes, you're supposed to drink water. It could throw the tests off. I was like, okay, whatever. But the liver enzymes are not going to be thrown off from that, although the hematocrit, whatever the fuck, which one it was thrown off me, that was high. So I need to address that. And being off steroids, that's not a good sign, right? Having a high red blood cell count and being off steroids like that, not a good sign. But again, the blood was thicker, so the points do go up, but that's easy to address. It's not a big deal. Now, the liver enzymes are what really kind of shocked me, and it threw me for a loop because the doctor was like flat out like, what are you taking? And I was like, I'm not taking anything. He's like, I know you're not taking steroids because your androgen levels are so low. He's like, that you're fucking definitely not on. You've been off whatever it is long enough so that this wouldn't affect it. And it's not like you took anadrol 3 years ago and it's affecting it now. So we got to figure out something you're ingesting is causing this rise in your liver enzymes. And I was like, what the fuck? So I started thinking, I'm like, I'm not taking anything but these fucking natural supplements. I can't figure out what the fuck it is. So I came home and started going through some of the stuff that I was taking. One is like a blood pressure thing called cardidion or something like that. I haven't known anybody to have spikes in liver enzymes on that. Now, one thing that does cause issues, and it's interesting because I used this years ago, but I never had a blood test on it, so I don't really know how it affected me. And that is, I'm going to cover up the company name because I don't want to fucking get sued, but vanadyl sulfate, 20 milligrams, okay? That says 20. Now, I got home and I was like, what the fuck? Now, here's something interesting. I was taking the vanadyl off steroids, right? Off TRT. I was taking it before the Olympia, at the Olympia. When I got back from the Olympia, it was the only thing that I was ingesting that was different. And vanadyl sulfate back in the day, you know, Bill Phillips had it out called V2G. There's also one called, SoFarm had it out called vanadyl pH. And I always thought it was a great product, and it works really fucking well. So I was taking it, being off the TRT, trying to make sure that my pump was even stronger, shuttling nutrients, glucose disposal, and all the shit that comes along with it. And I was like, I told Primeval, I said, hey, it's working really well. We should think about putting this in our product. And you know what Primeval said to me? They said, due to the fact that there's liver toxicity in it, we can't put it in the products. It's just not a good idea. And I was like, you know what? I mean, that's what they say, but I've never had a problem. I've never seen anything like that. I've never heard of anything like that. So, but you know what? You don't want to put it in the products. Cool, fine. They were the ones that kind of pointed it out like months ago when I started taking this brand on its own. Fast forward, I do a little more research after my liver enzymes come back, and there was cases of liver enzymes being on vanadyl sulfate. 1.8 milligrams is the most you could take without affecting your liver enzymes. This is 20 milligrams. And I've seen dosages in a fucking capsule, 50 milligrams and 100 milligrams in a fucking capsule. There were fucking actual people that had liver enzymes of 700 on the vanadyl sulfate. 700 is like, I mean, basically fucking, you have cirrhosis of the liver at 700. It's like you're a fucking full-blown alcoholic for like 30 years. Like, that's fucking insane from a product that's actually on the fucking market. You can buy it on Amazon. You can buy it on store shelves. You can buy it anywhere. Now, this is my fault because I didn't do the fucking footwork. I took it for granted that the stuff that I was taking back in the day from V2G and vanadyl sulfate from SoFarm, that this was the same thing. I don't think this is the same thing. I mean, I've never heard of people fucking having issues with the vanadyl back in the day. But again, it was so new, but vanadyl did come off the market. People stopped putting it in the products. However, these companies fucking still sell it by itself, which makes no fucking sense. If the toxicity level is that high and it can fuck you up that bad, it shouldn't be sold on the market, plain and simple. And I mean, but then again, Tylenol is on the market, which the doctor actually asked me, he's like, are you taking Tylenol every day? And I was like, no, why? And he said, because that could throw the liver enzymes through the fucking roof also. Acetaminophen can actually do that to this degree. And I was like, really? I was like, so fuck. So this stuff really, even though it is not good for you, is no worse than acetaminophen, Tylenol, which means that if one is legal, the other one is going to be legal. But it is my opinion and my observation and my suggestion that this stuff is toxic and should not be taken. And I'm actually really upset with myself because I should know better. I really should know better. And it's 100% my fault, and I take full responsibility for it. And you know, I thank the doctor for kind of questioning, like, what the fuck are you putting in your body? Because if it was just another doctor that just was like, hey, your liver enzymes are high, whatever, this doctor was like, it's something you're ingesting. He was very thorough with it. The guys from Titan, the people from Titan, he was very thorough with it, being like, it's something you're ingesting, it's something that's happening now, and we need to figure out what it is so we can kind of address this so it doesn't bother you in the future. But it's good that we figured it out now, and we'll get it taken care of. And I was just like, I kind of was, I'll be honest with you, I was driving to train my clients, I was in shock. I was in absolute shock because I was like, I'm off everything. I've been off all the fucking trend and the anadrol and all that shit for years and years and years. And even the TRT was off, so I was expecting the best blood work, better than I had when I was a fucking teenager. And when it came back, it was off. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I was upset. I was scared. I didn't understand what was going on, especially since I felt like I was towing the line and doing things healthy. I honestly feel healthier than I've ever felt. And the way that I'm eating is healthier. I'm doing a lot more plant-based, you know, not by any means the type of crazy shit that I used to do when I was younger. But yeah, so vanadyl sulfate, guys, stay the fuck away from it. So that's been addressed. We're going to take care of that. Like I said, my testosterone levels were 118, which is fucking ridiculous. But I knew it. I had a clue that they would be like that. But that's my true testosterone reading after being off for 2 months, which, you know, there should be some increase or rebound of your body starting back on if that would happen, and there was zero. So I mean, it just goes to show that I will be on TRT pretty much the rest of my life, and I'm okay with that. But also the thyroid function, if that's addressed, I don't really feel bad, so I'm not sure if it would make any difference. But long-term health-wise, if I have to be on thyroid medication, at least you know now and you're able to address that rather than have some issues down the line caused by it and you didn't even fucking know it. So Overall, I'm feeling pretty good. You know, I'm mad at myself. I'm upset with myself for not knowing enough to pay attention to something that that was right in front of my face. And even after the guys at Primeval were like, you know, here's the deal, like we don't fucking think this stuff is good for anybody, so we're not going to put it in our products. I should have fucking researched a little more instead of popping the pills, but at 41, obviously I'm still learning. So, all right, we're going to start this fucking day, and yeah, that's the update, guys. So we'll see what happens in the next month. I'll stay off the vanadyl sulfate. We'll do blood work again in about 30 days. I'm going to go on glutathione, which is an amino acid that helps heal your liver and flush, I don't want to say flush your liver, but detoxify your liver, which Titan has been super good about explaining to me how that stuff works. They have an injectable version of it, so it's actually 100% pharmaceutical. There's no binders, no fillers, nothing like that. And then redo blood work, and we should be good to go, guys. So that's me being as transparent as I can possibly be with you guys. I mean, it was something that where I felt really stupid when I felt really fucking dumb, because I honestly, many people look at me as an expert and somebody that really knows about this stuff, and vanadyl sulfate came and went so fast in the 90s that it was one of those things that it just worked really well and nobody thought much of it. And honestly, the people that I've talked to from back in the day that were old school, they thought it worked really well too, and never understood why it came off the market. But I think this is the reason why they pulled it. I think the companies didn't talk about it because of the fact that it was toxic and they were putting the shit in their product, and that fucking research and literature was there. They ignored it, put it in the products, and then had to yank it out later, and it would have made them look bad by saying, like, we fucking put something toxic in our products and now we just decided to take it out now, but before we get caught, you know. So all right, let's get this day on the move.
Meal one, I'm gonna have the breakfast. Sit, sit, sit. Brady, sit. Good boy, you did a good job. Boy, you wanna eat? Good boy.
Yeah, meal one today, as always, nutrition solutions. But today we got cookies and cream protein pancakes. Fuck yeah, it's got some fruit in there too. All right, first meal of the day today, nutrition solutions pancakes, as always. And yeah, I mean, I think we should kind of talk a little bit right now about what I just talked about with the vanadyl sulfate. And there are products on the market that I talked to a few people. We'll back up for a second. I talked to a few people after all this went down, and flat out told me that they had a problem with SARMs, of all things, right? SARMs are non-toxic, and the liver enzymes are elevated, cholesterol, breaking out, acne. None of this stuff is supposed to be happening on SARMs. And I had people approaching me at the Olympia and the Arnold boat this year, talking to me about that stuff. And some people that probably sell SARMs right now are going to get pissed at me for saying this, but they're not pharmaceutical grade. They're not made in a GMP facility. And a lot of them say not for human consumption on them, that they think takes them out of liability. It doesn't. Okay, when you put something on the fucking market you know people are taking, and you're marketing it as a bodybuilding thing, it's not pharmaceutical, it's not regulated, and you're saying, oh, well, we didn't fucking tell them to take it anyway. SARMs, like, you know, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was, were actually made in facilities that were pharmaceutical, that you knew the quality, like you knew you were getting like LGD, or you knew you were getting whatever the fuck was on the label. It's not like that anymore. So these people that I was talking to after I told them about the blood work were like, straight up, I didn't get SARMs. You know, I was supposed to have Ostrain. I don't know what the fuck was in it, but the way it affected my body and my liver enzymes, I'm almost 99% sure that it's 1-methyl test. And I would have to send it out and spend about $2,000 to get this product tested, which I'm not going to do because I already fucking know. You know, I've taken shit before. The way I blew up on this, the way I got puffy, the way that everything happened, he said it's not what it's supposed to be. He goes, I've taken stuff in the past and I know it's something like that that's in there. And I guess that's still happening now, especially to the point where, you know, SARMs are technically not illegal, but technically not legal. So they're kind of getting around the I guess, I don't know, the FDA, the DEA, whatever the fuck it is, by just putting stuff in capsules that's not supposed to be there and taking it. Now, this shit scares me. You know, this shit scares me a lot, the fact that I was taking a product and I knew a lot about products in general. I knew kind of a lot about how vanadyl and vanadium worked in general. I have vanadium in my multivitamin, right? I mean, it's in there, but it's not the same thing. And you'd have to take a lot more of the vanadium than the vanadyl to get the same toxic effects. But the bottom line is, you know, a kid could purchase that vanadyl online, and instead of taking the 20 milligram dose like I was, take 2 or 3 of those things, or maybe even 4 of them, figuring it would work better. And if my liver enzymes are elevated on it off of 1 capsule, what would 4 capsules do to someone? You know what I mean? Imagine if the kid went into the doctor for blood work and the fucking liver enzymes were to the point where it looked like something really serious was happening to him, and they didn't know he was taking that. They're going to fucking go nuts trying to figure out what is wrong with the kid, because he's not taking any drugs or anything. He's not taking acetaminophen. He's not doing the things that would normally show up like that. And that scares the fuck out of me that can happen. You know, it scares the fuck out of me that people out there right now are so like, SARMs this, SARMs that. I'm like, listen, you're not getting fucking SARMs. If you have acne and fucking hair loss and bloating and fucking, you know, blood pressure problems, that's not SARMs. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's not SARMs. It's like half the fucking black market right now. You know, you guys saw Andrew's story. Half the black market right now is tainted with fucking all kinds of shit, from bacterias to fucking products that are not even what's on the fucking label. You name it. I'm like, it is a fucking dangerous time right now in general. And, you know, it just reaffirms that what we're trying to do in the supplement world is regulate stuff and have stuff made at the GMP facilities and have fucking batches tested and make sure that fucking these things are 100% on and 100% that the raw materials are what they say they are before you put them in a product. Like, all this stuff is important to fucking get done. And, you know, I feel bad for anybody out there that's having issues that doesn't know that they fucking took something that will give them a fucking issue. I mean, I think you really have to pay attention to certain brands that you trust. And like the brand of this fucking thing, I don't know who the fuck that is. I got it on Amazon for like $6. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a reputable brand. I mean, I started looking for reputable brands that I knew of, and none of those brands were actually selling vanadyl. Fucking why? You know what I mean? Why aren't they selling it? If it's such a good product, why not fucking, instead of $6, sell it for $10 and sell it? Because it's not fucking worth making the money, because it's not right. It's not fucking the right thing to do. And yeah, so guys, be careful. I mean, I get questions all the time about why SARMs are fucking doing this to somebody. I get questions constantly about the fucking black market underground steroids. We're like, what do you think about this, Jerry? I'm like, it looks like somebody made it in their bathtub and fucking printed the label out in their printer, and their kid colored it with a fucking crayon. Like, that's what it looks like. So just be careful, guys. I don't know what else to say except stick with reputable brands that you can trust, brands that are proven over time, and just beware about the stuff out there that, you know, it's not even that it's being marketed and people are lying about it. It's not even being marketed. It's just there. And when you hear about it in a forum, oh, vanadyl sulfate's good glucose disposal agent. So is chromium picolinate. Works pretty well too, but vanadyl's like the next step up. It's not a drug. It's not fucking, you know, the mineral that it's extracted from. It's an extract of vanadium, so it's natural. And, you know, just do your due diligence, which I fail to do. Like, I feel horrible about it. I feel stupid. I feel dumb. I feel like a fucking moron because I didn't do the footwork myself. And I just went for what I thought I knew. And this really is a lesson that, you know, I'm going to be revisiting some stuff that disappeared from the 90s that I thought maybe they were good products. I'm going to start looking back at some things to see what the fuck is up and see toxicity and why these things aren't on the market anymore. Because I question a lot, like, why aren't they around anymore? If they worked so well, did we find better things? No, these things actually work better. Like, there are supplements that were tainted, spiked, and then the supplement company was sold off to, and bought by another company, and now their products fucking suck. And one of their products had coumadin in it. Another one of their products had something that, it was another type of blood thinner in it. Another one of their products actually had a steroid in it, and it was pulled off the market, reformulated, and put it back on before it was fucking figured out, and the product never worked again. So there's some shady shit going on, and as I find them out and I figure this shit out, I'm gonna tell you guys about it. I mean, plain and simple, I'm just gonna fucking put it out there. I mean, you can't mention any names, but I'll give you enough information. We could figure that shit out on your own, because everybody's gonna want to fucking sue you for everything nowadays. I can't even tell you the fucking supplement company that made that product, because you're like, oh my god, you're saying this. What the fuck? The goddamn literature is there. I don't have to say shit, but saying that their company is doing it would be slanted. It's just a fucking mess. So I'm gonna eat my fucking pancakes, go to the gym, train chest and shoulders, training a little bit heavier, a little less of the higher rep stuff. I'm actually feeling better now. Just fucking go about a day. So appreciate you guys for listening. God, I feel dumb. I'm Biockickz, and I approve this message, and we're out.